Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you're having an amazing day. It is Friday, May 2nd, 2014, and this is the facts of the matter. On staying true to your spouse, few who are married would deny the fact that from time to time they encounter people of the opposite sex whom they find attractive, other than their spouse. The attraction itself is not the critical issue. How we deal with it is. Every marriage is a mix of profoundly deep bonds of love and intimacy, coupled with periods of frustration and dismay, sometimes even anger. It may be during these times of stress that we find ourselves particularly attracted toward another person who appears on the scene. In fact, we may be surprised and chagrined, even alarmed at the power of attraction and at our own imagination. The trouble begins, though, when we cross the line by allowing the other person entrance into that sacred place of emotional intimacy, which is rightfully reserved only for your husband or your wife. To cope with the attractiveness of others, of that other person, here's two resolves. Flattery. I resolve not to allow the slightest seed of flattery or manipulation to occur between myself and that other person. In the case of men, treat the women as if they're older as your mother, and if they're younger as your sister. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 2. The older women as mothers, the younger as sisters, with all purity. And women, treat them as your fathers or your brothers. Imagination. I resolve to control my imagination by bringing every thought under Christ's lordship. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 5. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. To strengthen the bonds of your marriage, let me put forward these three resolves. Commitment. Resolve to remain faithful in spirit and body to your husband or wife. No person other than your partner, your wife or your husband, will be allowed entrance into the sanctuary of intimate emotions that is reserved solely for the two of you. Communication. Resolve to work daily at maintaining that close and meaningful dialogue with your husband or wife. Choose to listen from your heart. Affirmation. Resolve to not take your husband or wife for granted. Giving him or her reassurance through regular expressions of gratitude. Thank you, honey, for doing that for me. I really appreciate it. Deeds of kindness. Go out of your way to make them feel special. The slightest little thing. And don't forget that tender touch that you reserve for your husband or your wife. Now, it's does have Proverbs chapter 6, verse 32 and 33 in there. And I'll leave that to your own discretion to look up. And that is the facts of the matter for May 2nd, 2014. Peace be in you, my brothers and sisters. May the Lord have mercy on us all. I love you guys so very much. God bless.